Welcome to Apply IT. If you are a researcher associated with any research organization or academic institutes, colleges or universities, you need to maintain your research publication data. Such organizations need to submit this research data to various ranking agencies or accreditation agencies. For example, in India, colleges or universities submit their research data to NIRF ranking agency. Colleges also submit their research data to accreditation agencies such as NAC or NBA. If such research data is prepared manually, there is a possibility of making mistake. So in this video, I am going to explain that how we can retrieve this data automatically using Google Sheet. So for each publication, we need just DOI, that is Digital Object Identifier. We'll plug that DOI into our Google Sheet, and Google Sheet is going to retrieve that information from CrossRef API. So without wasting time, let's get started. In this Google Sheet, you can see that I have one tab for journal, another tab for conference. And the first column is DOI. So here I'm going to plug any DOI of any research publication. Once I plug that DOI here automatically information will be retrieved. For journal, I'm retrieving title, authors, publisher, volume, issue and page. In the same way, we'll also understand that how to retrieve this information for conference publication. So before we understand how we retrieve this information, let us see that from which website we are going to retrieve this information. So there is a website called crossref.org from where we can retrieve the publication information. Here you can see that the URL is api-crossref.org/works, and after that we write here Digital Object Identifier. If I search for that in Google, we can find some information about that. For any research publication, a unique DOI is attached. So using that DOI, it is possible to retrieve that information. So this crossref.org, it provides an API to retrieve information for a particular publication. So if you just provide DOI, this API is going to provide us that information. The problem that we have to address is the API provides response in JSON format. So it is not possible to display that JSON information in a tabular format. So we are going to write an app script. So app script is going to retrieve that information from API. Then it will do necessary conversion and then it will be displayed into Google Sheet. So now let's understand that app script that we have written. So for journal publication and for conference publication, we have written a separate app script function. So let us understand both. So we go to this extensions, we click on this app script. I have already written required functions for fetching the information. So first app script function I've created is get journal publication headers. So it is returning an array which contains the headers that we want here. So you can see here we have DOI, title, till, page. So all these headers are coming from this function. Here I'm calling that function get journal publication headers. It is going to return an array of values and that will be displayed here. So basically Google Sheet needs data in form of array. If you return data in form of array, it can easily be displayed in Google Sheet. Now the second function is get journal publication detail. I'm calling that function called get journal publication details and I provide this DOI as an input which is in B5 cell. So that is the input to that function. So that function is going to prepare this URL which I mentioned here. So we take this base URL and we append DOI, and using URL fetch app object of app script, we are going to fetch that information. So we get a response. Then from that response, we extract the content text. Then we parse that information into JSON. So once we get that JSON object, we can extract the relevant information. So from that publication object, this is a publication object that it is giving for single DOI. but it is not readable. So I click this pretty print. You'll see that now I am able to read that information in JSON format. So here you can see that I'm accessing this message, this publication object.message. So basically I'm retrieving information from this message object. So here we are having different information. Example, we have say author, we have this volume, we have this title. So different information is available in form of JSON. So we need to extract that information into our app script. So here I'm extracting title, then page number, then publisher name, then volume, then issue. These details I'm retrieving. Then I'm also retrieving author's detail. Now author's detail I'm getting as an array. I'm getting as an array of object. So using this for loop, I'm retrieving that information and I'm preparing the author details with the semicolon separated. And finally, once everything is prepared, I'm returning that as an array of array. So you can see here I'm returning title, then author details, publisher, volume, issue, and page number. So this information I'm extracting using this script function. And that value I'm returning. So that is what I'm displaying here. Title, authors, publisher, volume, issue, and page number. In the same way, I'm also extracting information for conference publication. So for conference publication, I'm retrieving title, authors, conference detail, location, publisher, and page. So I have prepared a function called get conference publication headers to retrieve these headers, and get conference publication details to fetch that information from app script. So we have two functions related to conference publications, so that you can see here. So these functions are similar to what we have done for journal. We are basically retrieving information from the object, relevant object. So here information is available from message object. So we get that information and finally we return it. So if we write such function only once, then for any number of research publication, we can retrieve information automatically. I'm going to share link for this app script code in the video description. So you can easily access that code and you can easily use it. Now let's practically see that how quickly it is fetching that information. So I have already collected certain DOIs for journal publications. So I select this DOIs. I paste those DOIs into DOI column. You can see here it is loading this information, and within few seconds it has retrieved all publication details. In the same way we can also do for conference publications. So I copy certain DOIs related to conference publications and I paste here in the DOI column for the conference. It is loading and within say few seconds it will retrieve that information. You can see here I'm able to retrieve this information for conference publication. So if you're associated with research organization, instead of typing such research data manually, and if you do that, then there is a possibility of typing mistakes. So generally in a research organization, such data preparation task is given to some junior level person. So if that person is not carefully entering the information or making mistake while typing, for example, instead of volume number 16, for example, person is typing volume number 61, like that, then there is a possibility that data is not appropriate. Using this approach, we can prepare our research data within few seconds. I'm going to share link for this code into video description. So try to use it and let me know in the comment section that whether you are able to retrieve this information for your research publication or not. Thanks for watching and happy learning. We'll see you in the next video.